Hello, we're here in Germany, in Bochum. Welcome, Christina. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm a little bit tired because I'm feeling the end of the tour, but I'm feeling great and I can't wait for the show.
Cool. We are looking forward to it too. And thank you so much for your time today. It's the first time that we get to interview you, and we've been looking forward to this a lot. So.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations on the 20 years of Lacuna Coil.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you are celebrating that with a concert and also with a book. Tell us about those plans.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of plans. Some of them have been revealed, like the show on January 19th and the book as well. The show will be a special show that will be filmed for a DVD. We picked up London as a location because we have a lot of fans around the world and we wanted to celebrate with them all. So logistically, it was the logical place to pick up because there are a lot of flights going in and out. So we decided to do it there. And we decided for January 19th because 119 is Lacuna Coil Day. Our fans created this day based on the title of our song, that is 119. So it was, the perfect day to celebrate this. And the book will be telling the story of the band from the very beginning up until now. So the guy who was putting everything together interviewed us all and interviewed other people who worked with us as well. We collected a lot of pictures that we never published before. We tried to remember everything, even if it wasn't that easy, because 20 years, it's a long time. So we tried to remember what we did in all this time. And it was a lot of fun, because there were some things that we completely forgot. And, just like talking to each other and putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, it was amazing to find out that we did a lot of things. Yep.
Wow, amazing. So in these 20 years, the main subject we wanted to talk to you about is how has the music business evolved? What have been the biggest challenges that you have had to face in these 20 years?
Everything changed because, if you only think that 20 years ago we had to produce a cassette to be able to ship it to labels around the world. Now you can produce your music at home with your computer, sometimes even with a cell phone, with an iPad. It's so easy to create your music in your corner, in your room, and send it with a click to the other side of the world. So 20 years ago, everything was completely different. So you had to pay to go to a professional studio to record your music. You have to pay to rehearse in a rehearsal studio and put together your creations. And then you had to physically ship your cassette because not even CDs were present 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And send it around. And plus you had to wait for a reply if it was coming from the labels. And they were coming through either letters, faxes, and sometimes by phone, because even phone calls were very expensive. Like even to call from Milano, where we live, to Germany, where our label was and is Century Media, it was very expensive. So everything was diluted in time because you had to wait for a long time to deliver your product, to wait for an answer, to decide what was going to happen, to get a fax, to send it back. It was completely different. So that's why the music business evolved so much. Now you have way more opportunities to have your music spread it around the world. But at the same time, the market is so congested because there are so many bands, so many artists, so much music that the final listener is like, what's going on? There is so much to choose from that is kind of confusing. I think we've been really lucky to born in an era where fans would actually want to grow up with you, with your music, to evolve. And that's probably why we're still here, because our basis of fans is so strong and it's been following us throughout the years. We actually have a lot of new fans, like new generations, so this is amazing. But it's good, to be here after 20 years. It's mainly because there are still people supporting our music.
Yeah. That's nice. And we've been asking the Spotify question to a lot of bands too. Do you use it? Do you use any streaming services? What do you think about the whole concept?
I do. I actually like the idea because I'm a really lazy listener, because when I'm home, I like to be surrounded by music, but if you start asking me the titles of the songs, the titles of the records, I'm like, unless they're, you know, big classics, sometimes I know the song, I even know the lyrics, but I don't know the title. And I love to listen to music when I'm home, when I'm around. So with Spotify, it's cool because I can have my my own set list, my own playlist. But at the same time, when this is over, it keeps on going, and it kind of keeps the same vibe of my taste, of what I like. So I can discover new bands, and I go, oh, I like this song, what is it? And I can check it out and maybe add it to my playlist. I think it's cool to discover new music and to listen to the old classics. Sometimes it also helps me to remember our lyrics. When we're preparing a show, I put a set list with our songs, and then I listen to it, and I'm just like, okay, I re-listen to our songs. So I really, really like Spotify, and I think it's an intelligent way to kind of give some money to the artists as well, which I think is fair. Of course, it's not the same amount of money that you would get through the regular publishing if you sell a CD, or the money that you would get from selling merch at the venues. But I think that it's way better than just download it illegally. Yeah. This way you can have some music. It's something in between, because I understand that there's not a lot of money around, and kids have to play, you know, with whatever they have to survive, and if they want to buy music as well. But from the artist point of view, it is important, because I mean, you're investing a lot of time and a lot of money in what you create. So I think it's fair, you know, to have something back just for the fact that this way your company can keep on going and creating, because it's a cycle. It's not because you want to have a pool in your home, which we don't have. Is to create more music, to create more merch, to create more stuff for whoever likes our music and us.
For us who want to see the next album.
Exactly. I mean, now a lot of bands are self-sustaining through like GoFound or, you know, just to collect money from outside to create a record. And it is weird, because I mean, to me the logical thing would be, I give you this, which to me it's half of my heart, if not all heart, and you give me, you know, some of the money, and I can, with this money, I can invest it in another heart that I can give you. So I think it's absolutely fair. It's the same thing that going to the grocery store and buy some food. This way they can produce more food, they can sell you. It's the same thing. It should be a cycle to keep things going.
That's true. That's a lovely way to put it too. And what was I? Yes. Marketing. With the whole internet and social media stuff, online marketing is very important nowadays. Do you have like an influence into the whole strategy, or is that just your label or your management who does that?
No. I would refuse to have someone who would take care of my pages, my personal pages. On the band one, we have someone from the label who kind of interacts with us. We still take care of it, but sometimes, you know, there are promotional things, there are some advertisements that it's easier for us to let them do, because we can't keep up with all the, you know, the dates of release of everything. There is a lot of stuff going on. Speaking about my personal social pages, from internet to Twitter to Facebook, I'm very interested in every social media, and there are so many now that it's hard to keep up with everything. And it's not easy, because you really, really have to be watching every single social media and just like analyze everything, and to see what age the people is following you belongs to, or if they're females, male. It's an interesting world, but I don't want to go that far. To me, the most important thing is to show myself how I really am, and to balance the fact that people in music, artists, are still normal people. This is something that I really, really want to make clear for whoever is watching my pages, because I know that a lot of kids are inspired by whatever we say, whatever we do. And I don't like when the illusion is so big for them that they believe that that is reality. You know, when something is too processed, too photoshopped, too perfect, because it is not like that. So I like to let them see that it is okay to have a beautiful picture because it's going to be something that will last forever. Of course, you want to look cool, you want to look good for something that will make you dream. But reality is different. You know, we wake up, we're not perfect, our hair are not super shiny all the time. We are different when we're wearing makeup and when we're not, or when we're dressed up. They have to know that it's not always pitch perfect. So that's why, you know, I like to mix, you know, very striking pictures with everything look like, oh wow, this is so real, to the most ugly that to me is beautiful picture, you know, without makeup, just like when you're just waking up and you're very far from perfection. Because they need to know that reality is a completely different thing. You can dream with our music, you can dream with us on stage, you can dream with us during the videos. But if you meet me on the streets, I'm going to be human as every other artist is.
That's beautiful. And we've also been peeking a little bit behind the whole touring life. How do you keep yourself healthy? How do you keep your mind healthy? Mental health is also an important topic for us.
I don't do anything planned because I am super lazy, so I don't work out. I mean, I work out during the shows because our shows are really energetic, but I don't work out, which I'm very jealous because when I see other colleagues that are just like, oh, I worked out this morning, I got the smoothie, I ate this. I'm very far from it. I love to eat, and I eat a lot, and most of the time stuff that it's not healthy at all. I don't really work out. I don't do anything in particular. I try to sleep as much as I can. This is really important for me. And then I don't smoke, which is good. I don't smoke. I drink a lot of water because I like water, but I don't do anything specific to keep my health. I think that my health, at least this is valid for me, comes from how good my psychological health is. So if I'm happy, if I know that people around me that I love is okay, and if I'm having a good time on tour, that makes it for me. And I know that I am not the best singer in the world, so what's more important for me is to communicate my feelings and my energy and give the energy and get it back from the crowd than being very straight and just like, I can do this, I can do that. I indulge very often.
Amazing, the rock star life.
Yeah, well, I mean, not in a rock star way, but I hate to put, I hate to give myself any limitations. So if I want to drink one night and maybe a little bit over, maybe the morning after and the day after I will not drink at all. Maybe for the week after or the month after I will not drink. But I don't want to tell myself, no, you can't do that. I don't like that. I just want to go with the flow and do whatever I like as long as I'm not, you know, doing anything bad.
And you've been doing this for 20 years, so you have to be doing it right.
Exactly, I think so. But mainly when you're okay here, I think you're okay here.
Yeah, that's true. Perfect. My last question. You are touring right now with Iverium, and they are, like you, one of the few bands with a female and a male singer, the duo. Are you a fan of another band that has like that kind of dynamic in the vocalist parts?
To be honest, I don't really listen to a lot of bands with a female vocalist because I'm really old school with bands that I've been loving for years, like Type O Negative, Paradise Lost. I always mention them, and I should, you know, some people think that I should probably move on, but this is the stuff that I like. So I like this type of atmospheres, you know, Catatonia, Pantera, Metallica. I listen to a lot of this old school stuff. So I can't think of like a favorite band that does what we do, and plus because I don't find it different than any other band. I mean, as long as someone sings, as long as someone plays, I don't really separate genres. Like, okay, this is female fronted, this is two vocalists, this is one. To me, it's all music and deserves respect anyway. So. Never thought about it.
But I'm sure you like Iverium and Solardal.
Yeah. They're awesome, and not only musically, because sometimes, you know, it happens that you have maybe a support band that you don't really know, that you're not crazy about it, because it happens. I mean, music, it's, you know, It's about taste. It's about feeling. So you might like someone, you might not like someone, or or not too much. But this tour has been amazing because I absolutely love their music. The songs are really catchy, and they're awesome people. So there is a great vibe going, and I'm loving every second.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you want to say?
Oh, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I'm glad that we are playing more shows in Germany because I don't know for what reason we didn't play a lot of shows in Germany, in France, and Spain, and now we started, to come back again, and the response was actually pretty good. So I am glad that we can play in Europe more because, of course, we can't play in two places at the same time, and it happened that we had to play, in the States for a long time.
That's right.
So now, I mean, it was about time, to come back.
Cool.